Holy cow, Batman! Pre-construction condo prices plummet 42%. Stay tuned to find out exactly what happened on this week's episode of Prime Property TV. Good day, Toronto. Welcome to another episode of Prime Property TV. So glad you could join us here. As you can tell, we're still in the same set. Major renovations coming, blah, 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 blah. No worries. We'll figure it out eventually when we have some more time. So in the intro, you heard me right. Pre-construction sales down 42%. G-Bus. Crazy headline, right? Well, before I get into what exactly happened, make sure you give me a thumbs up so that if you like this content. Also, it tells me to continue making it. And if you do like it, make sure you subscribe to Prime Property TV. Click on the little button and the bell so you'll be notified when we put out new content. So, although that headline is true, it is not as alarming as you may believe. Spoken like a real realtor. Sometimes I catch myself sounding like a serious realtor. However, I have to say, it's not the world that's falling, and seriously, it's really true. This is 42% less transactions, not 42% drop in prices. We've had record years in the condo market for the last 4 years of 10% growth in prices. That's 100% unsustainable, and it's fantastic. We're actually leveling off. Again, because investors, we want to see stable growth, not unsustainable growth. Here are the numbers from Urban Nation. I'll make it a little bit larger on the screen and shrink my head. I've circled in red the difference in sales we experienced in 2017 to 2018. It's a complete ridiculous drop-off, hence 42% drop. Again, most of it is due to the foreign buyer tax coming in, mortgage stress test that we got hit with 2 years ago. Although the 42% drop-off is a catchy headline, we actually just basically reverted back to our 10-year average, and you can see that in the green line I just put in the chart for you. This, in my eye, is very healthy because 2017 was a ridiculous record-breaking year for Precon, and frankly, again, unsustainable. Anyone looking to buy pre-construction right now as an investment clearly should not be just banking on appreciation and should reconsider the project they're looking at and do your due diligence. You want to make sure your property is going to carry itself in the future when it completes. In an article I wrote back in December 2018, I outlined how you can profit from the biggest price gap right now from Precon and resale. I'll put a link into the description below. That will help you into how to find that next investment property. Remember, sales in Precon is dictated by the builder and when they release inventory. It is much more controlled than, say, the resale market, which individual owners are selling their own property on MLS. So it is very often to look at the absorption rate, and I've broken out the sales and absorption rate of the last few years below. The absorption rate in 2018 for pre-construction condos is significantly lower in 2018. That's 16% less. That means for every 100 condos available from the builder, 16 less are bought as opposed to 2017. However, again, with all the numbers, it's all relative. We're back to the 10-year average for sales and absorption rate, which is about 20,500 or so, or 58% absorption. 2018 was actually higher than both of those numbers. So the world is not falling, just returning back to the norm. If you read the article I talked about earlier, how to profit from the biggest price gap in years, again, description and link below, you'll see how quickly Precon prices have jumped the last 2 years. There are a ton of reasons for why they have gone up, but recently, for the first time ever in Q4 of 2018, the prices kind of stay put, only up 0.4%, which means we're kind of about the cusp of where we think Precon condos prices are, mainly the builders thinking of that. Below here, when I shrink my face, I'm gonna show you another chart. It's gonna show the rate of growth for rents, Precon, and resale. The purpose I'm showing you this is to show how quickly each segment of this market is growing. They're all somewhat independent of one another, but I always like to monitor it, and it will show you why sometimes I'm steering my clients away from Precon, okay? The last 2 years, we've seen 90% increase in rents alone, which is crazy because it's like 9.5% per year. Norm should be 3 or 5. Here's another one, 35% increase in resale condo prices. That's nuts. That's 14.5% increase. Not sustainable. Normal should be 3 to 5%. And here's the kicker, 56% price increase in Precon condos. That's crazy. There are many reasons the price of Precons have jumped so much, and I've written a ton about it. Permit delays, Toronto doubling development charges overnight, land acquisition costs, labor, material costs, yada, 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 etc., etc. There's so many things that resulted into this. That's why I'm not surprised that the transactions have dropped off by 42%. This is just us returning to the norm. Like with most sectors of the market, the transactions have dropped, but the prices have stabilized. I don't suspect the prices to fall off, especially because they're basically controlled by the builder and not the market. So strong developers, especially ones backed by tons of money, especially public money, will basically just not sell anything, wait until the market's a little bit better, and then sell later when prices are higher. Only really the smaller builders that require the financing are going to be forced to sell lower because they're strapped for cash. But here's the question. What if they cut corners? Would you really want to buy from a small time builder? Right? So everything is always constantly changing in the real estate market, especially in Toronto, especially in 2019. That's why make sure you have a good realtor if you are planning to make a move. I'm gonna leave my contacts and my number here if you want a proper realtor to represent you so you don't make a mistake. Thank you guys for watching. Until next time, happy real estating.